Hello guys, welcome back to the homestead and the second part of my workshop build. In this part we are tackling the septic tank, preparing, digging, getting in the new septic tank, rerouting the pipes and whatever else we might get. So let's get straight into it. Here's the side of the new septic tank. I've got Roy in there. He's already gone down about 1 meter and somewhat. We've located the pipe. As you can see, the place is full of rock. All of this rock has come out of there, as well as all of the dirt. As you can see, here's a nice big one that Roy is pulling out. So we're going to go about 1.2 meters below the level of that pipe, and then from the pipe in the direction of where Roy is standing right now, we're going to go about 1.5 meters and then a little bit more, just so that we can backfill with river sand. That's in order for any water that gets behind the septic tank to flow away. Then we're going to reroute the soakaway pipe, which is going to follow that route over here. It's going to go down into the new soakaway on that side. There's already a day of work which Roy has done here, so when I come back, the hole would have been prepared and hopefully by then the new septic tank would have been brought in. I think it has been almost 3 weeks since we started with this. Eventually we've got this hole dug. We're now ready to start casting the new septic tank, or I'm building it. So we're going to start casting the base today, lay down the concrete and give that some time to cure. What's happening is that the old tank there is leaking somewhere. So all of that water is seeping through the soil and getting in here. So we're constantly having to empty out that hole. So that's been a major problem for us. Lots of rock, but finally we're here. We're ready to start doing the septic tank, and once that is done, hopefully we can eventually start getting into the actual build of the workshop, because that's what this is all about. You will see there I've got a hole dug. I've got Roy on the other side. I'm just going to pop across there quickly. I've got Roy here on the other side, and you can see how much of rock we've just taken out of these two holes. So Roy is digging the new soakaway. This is going to be this new soakaway, but we are on solid rock here. So as you can see, I mean, this has been 2 days now trying to break this rock with a jackhammer. We started there and it was just rock. So Roy is busy there. This is going to be, or we planned for this to be, the new soakaway. So yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take for this, but eventually hopefully we can get it done. It's taken all day now to get the hole prepped, because the size was out a little bit and then we had to break more rock, all of that rock and that. So we had to break more rock, but finally we got the form in. We've poured some concrete in. There's some reinforcing in there. The guys are just mixing up a little bit more. We've had to make a bush plan, but thanks to Roy, he had a plan. So we've created a chute to slide the concrete down into the pit. So I'm glad that that is done, or well, almost done. So we'll put it in there and float it and let it cure, and then maybe tomorrow sometime we can start with the block work and start actually building the tank. I'm back now from inside the hole. Actually, we laid down the concrete base yesterday, so that's cured enough for me to be able to get in here and start laying down a few courses of block. I don't know how far we will get today, and my disclaimer is that I am not a builder. This is the first time that I'm taking on a project of this size, so be gentle. I'm learning as I go. The guys are busy up there now, starting to mix some water for me and running up a few blocks. So we're going to give it a shot and hopefully it all works out fine. Work on the tank is progressing quite nicely. We've got a couple of courses of block in there already, getting some rebar in. I did a course of block work building, but then I handed it over to Roy because He's a way better builder than I am, so I'm going to stick to what I do best and leave the building to Roy. So that way we can ensure that the tank stays up and doesn't cave in when we backfill. So we're going to continue building, and then when I come back we're going to show you the complete tank, or almost complete tank. We are almost there. So we got in a full day of work today. Well, Roy did. I mostly watched because I stuffed my shoulder up yesterday, so I was out of it today. But the tank's virtually built. You can see the interleading pipes there have been put in. That section there, that's the existing sewer pipe that goes to that tank, so we can't cut it just yet because we can't then use the bathrooms in the house. But we're going to make a plan tomorrow, plaster these tanks up, and then we're going to do that bit last. And then we made headway with the runoff as well for the soakaway. I mean, this place is just one big rock. There's mountains of rock that we had to move. There's a huge rock sitting in there. You can see it there, and it took forever with a big jackhammer to get that broken. So I've got the geotechnical engineer coming out on Monday. Hopefully he's going to give me some good news about the soakaway there. Although I suspect he's going to give me bad news, because that's just huge rock there. So we'll get to that when we get to that. But tomorrow we're going to finish off this tank, plaster the inside. I've got the chemical to coat the plaster so that the water doesn't seep through. A good friend of mine, arranged it for me at a really good price, so I saved a bit of money there. So we can recover a little bit of money that we spent on the jackhammer, because that just cost a fortune having to hire that and keep it here with me. So let's come back after tomorrow and see what sort of headway we make. Here's a look from down inside the hole. So that was done last night. You can see it's all in there. I've come in today and set the level for the trench to go through, so you can see that. See the 3 tanks. We're gonna plaster. It's a bit windy today, so we're probably not going to plaster today. Then that one's holding up the whole process, as I mentioned yesterday. But essentially that's the one tank, so all of the heavy stuff's gonna go in there. It's gonna flow across. Liquid's gonna flow across with a little bit of heavy stuff as well. Maybe it's gonna fill that tank up, and then if there's any heavy stuff, it settles to the bottom there, flows in through this tank, and then all you get going out of that tank into the soakaway is liquid. So that's the functioning level of the tank. But because of all of that amount of dirt that we have on the top, the tank lids can't support that weight, so we're having to build it up till about there. So from there to there is about 250-300. The lid can withstand that weight of wet soil on top of it, so we've had to make a plan there. Unfortunately, we've had to do that because of the level at which that pipe comes out of the ground. Had that pipe been a little bit higher, it would have made life much easier for us, even with the soakaway. But that is what it is. So we've adapted, and hopefully this whole thing works. Day 1526, give or take a few minutes. And the tank, building on the tank is now virtually 99% complete. As you can see, it's right up to the top now. We're actually walking on that and getting out of the hole, so it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy about that. Roy is going to start plastering on the inside of the tank pretty soon, and then we're going to coat it with waterproof sealant, a bitumen based waterproof sealant, to prevent water seepage through there. The engineers come out today, so Peter came out and basically he told me that the holes which we have dug at the bottom, they are no good. He's giving me a diagram or a plan, a detail for the actual French drain, so I'm gonna wait for that. We're doing some test holes, which we filled up with water just to see the percolation rate. And yeah, so basically that's where it is. I think when I come back with the next part of this video, it's going to be with the plaster tank and hopefully the inside with the waterproof coating on it. So let's carry on. Finally, the tank is complete. I can walk on it. Everything's cured. As you can see, the different compartments. We've got to cut that pipe. The only thing left to do now is to paint it inside with the sealer, just to ensure that there's no seepage. So I'm looking forward to that. We're just going to give it one more day to dry for the mortar, the plaster, stucco, whatever you want to call it, to fully cure before we start painting on the waterproofing. The engineer has given me the detail for the soak away, so we're going to start on that tomorrow. We're clearing away rock. That part of it is all done now. We've got the drop right, so I am looking forward to it. After many a long week, one of them, which was a very violent week here in South Africa, filled with burning, looting, killing, lots and lots of gunshots for 3 or 4 days continuously within a few hundred meters of where we are. We finally have a 99% completed septic tank. As you can see, it's been bitumen coated. All of the piping in the septic tank itself have been put in, except for that one which we're going to cut tomorrow. The lids have arrived. They've just been delivered this morning. Trenches are dug. We have piping going in. As you can see there, we've got the drop right, we've got the fall of it right, so that the water flows properly. The engineer has come out and given us a specification for the soak away, which we're doing on the back here. So the guys are busy filling it up with stone, as you can see here. So that's going to be our soak away trench, and basically it's 20 meters of trench, 600 millimeters wide, 600 millimeters deep, which is lined by this green shade cloth, which allows the water to flow through much easier than your normal geo fabric. So we're going to fill that up. We've got this pipe here which is perforated. I've drilled holes into it, and the pipe will go on top of the rock. So the pipe will come through down there. It will go in there. The perforated pipes will go in to the trench, and then your water will be allowed to soak away. So I'm very relieved, because it was stressful, but we're getting there. We haven't even talked about the workshop build itself yet, and what was supposed to have costed about 3,000 rand just to replace a septic tank, now it's closer to about 20,000 rand, if not a little bit more, once I add up all the slips. So when I come back, you will see the completed tank where we have cut, we have joined, and we have put the lids in. And from there we can then start now and go ahead, drain the old tank, and start with the actual workshop build in that area. And finally, we have a complete septic tank. The lids are on. It's looking good. Pipes are connected. We've actually started using it. Pipe's been cut across there. You can see the bottom. Just under there, that pipe's been cut. That one's a new pipe that's going to come from my workshop toilet. So we'll put a toilet into the workshop as well. We've started covering up here. as you can see. And then what I want to show you very quickly is the soak away with the pipe in it. So you can see that it's filled with stone, and then the pipe runs across that side, 20 meters of trench, and that's it. Soak pit done and dusted, out of my hair. Let's hope it works. So I think I'm gonna call that a wrap for part 2, the soak pit saga. I think that's what I'll officially call it now, the soak pit saga, because it was one hell of a big saga. So that's done and dusted. Call it a successful build, and it couldn't have come any sooner because that old tank now started flowing out from the top. So I'm really glad that we've done that. Right, thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and when I come back on the next video, we are actually now going to start the actual build of the workshop. Leveling out, compacting, getting the foundation squared up and put in, or the footing, then the foundation, and that will be part 3. So thank you once again, and it's out for now.